A landmark bridge, a suitcase leaking blood, a vanished couple.
What's the emergency?
Right, we're going to need some police up here quite urgently, I think. We had a gentleman up here who was dragging a case behind him, a black gentleman. He says in the case the wheels are broken and what have you. He says there's car parts and what have you. It's got to be funny, the case is broken and it looks like it's really heavy and there's blood coming out of it.
Right,
It looks like there's blood coming out of the case. He then said there were two cases, so he went up the road to get the second case. The guy on the bike, who's just a member of the public, followed him. The guy has now run off.
When the remains of two men were found stuffed in suitcases and abandoned at the Clifton Suspension Bridge, it shocked Britain. But beneath the horror lay a twisted tale of seduction, deception, financial greed, and extreme violence. This is the chilling story of the suitcase murders and how a man from Colombia killed and dismembered his two hosts in London and used a national landmark in his attempt to escape justice. On the 10th of July 2024, the late evening buzz of Bristol's pubs following England's Euro semi-final win belied the horror unfolding. A witness waiting for a taxi outside the mall pub in Clifton saw a man struggling with two heavy suitcases. The witness joked,
And my son, he likes to talk to people. He said, "Hello mate," he said, "what have you got in there? That's heavy, isn't it? Very, you're dragging that across. What have you got in there, a body?"
He was right. What followed was a harrowing Metropolitan Police investigation centred on a Colombian national, a London flat, a couple in a civil partnership, and a brutal victimisation that had unfolded behind closed doors. The victims were Alfonso, aged 62, and Paul Longworth, aged 71, a couple who had shared a home in Shepherd's Bush, West London. They enjoyed a long-term partnership and often hosted friends and other guests. Their guest this time was 35-year-old Yostin Andres Mosquera, a Colombian national who had met Alfonso 9 years earlier. Mosquera was staying with the couple in July 2024. What investigators uncovered was chilling. Mosquera allegedly killed Longworth first, bludgeoning him with a hammer while Alfonso was at work, and then concealing the body underneath the bed. Later that day, Mosquera and Alfonso returned home after a gym workout. What followed was captured live, later forming the cornerstone of the investigation. An intentionally set up recording showed Mosquera stabbing Alfonso repeatedly, chillingly asking, "Do you like it?" as the victim struggled and died. The killer can be seen covered in blood, dancing and singing in the video, which was shown in court. Mosquera's actions did not stop at murder. He then dismembered his victims. Their heads were found in a chest freezer that the killer had purchased the day after the murders in the Shepherd's Bush flat. The rest of the remains were stuffed into suitcases. He hired an unsuspecting courier to transport the heavy cases from London to Bristol. Investigators say that after being dropped near the bridge, Mosquera called a taxi to help him complete his journey after underestimating the weight of the two suitcases. CCTV captured footage of him dragging a red suitcase late at night on the 10th of July, stopping at the bridge, struggling with the case, and apparently about to dump it. The case leaked fluid, a detail clearly visible on the video. As Mosquera looked for a place to throw the case over the edge, he noticed blood pooling on the ground. Chillingly, he attempted to urinate on the evidence to disperse the stain. His behaviour aroused the suspicions of nearby bridge staff. As they approached, they noticed the fluid seeping on the ground from the suitcase. When challenged by the two members of staff, he fled. A cyclist, who happened to be passing by at the time, noticed the commotion and pursued Mosquera, managing to capture a clear video which included his face. Police were called and the gruesome contents of the abandoned suitcases were finally revealed. CCTV and digital traces revealed that, in the weeks prior, Mosquera had searched online for how long until a body starts to decompose. serial killers of London, as well as browsing for a chest freezer to purchase and the value of the couple's home.
It was clear that Yostin Mosquera planned and calculated every action in the lead up to the killings. This included the premeditated purchase of a chest freezer, internet searches on how to inflict fatal injuries, accessing financial documents, and accessing Albert's bank account in the immediate aftermath of the attack.
Detective Chief Inspector Ollie Stride of the Met's Major Crime Investigation Team carried the burden for this investigation, and this is how he described it.
This has been one of the most harrowing murders my team and I have ever investigated. The team have consumed hundreds of hours of footage, including watching the murder of Albert Alfonso numerous times. Those images will stay with all of us for a very long time. Paul and Albert were murdered in the most brutal and callous of ways.
Mosquera defended himself by claiming Alfonso had killed Longworth and that he killed Alfonso in fear of his life. But the jury firmly rejected this. On the 21st of July 2025, at Woolwich Crown Court, Mosquera was convicted on 2 counts of murder. The sentencing in October followed. He received a life sentence with a minimum term of 42 years. The CPS called the crimes planned and premeditated and emphasised that
The prosecution team used witness statements, CCTV footage, digital and forensic evidence to satisfy the jury of his guilt. We hope that today's sentence brings some solace to all who knew Paul and Albert and reassures them that justice has been delivered.
at the heart of this case lies a complex web. Mosquera had taken advantage of the couple's hospitality and trust. He allegedly accessed their banking logins and attempted to transfer money to Colombia and withdrew cash. The court heard how Mosquera researched freezer devices, property values and murders before the killings, pointing clearly to financial motive. The use of a national landmark, namely the Clifton Suspension Bridge, added a chilling public dimension to the crime. The public and staff became inadvertent witnesses. Why this location was chosen remains unclear. Speculation included symbolism, provocation, or simply just disposing of evidence. For London's LGBT community, the case struck a raw nerve. The victims were a same-sex couple betrayed and murdered in their own home. Police emphasised that they were not investigating a hate crime motive, but recognised the heightened impact. Mosquera must serve a minimum of 42 years, and if he's ever released, he'll be deported back to Colombia. This case horrifies not simply because of its brutality, but because of the betrayal of trust, the cold planning, and the mixing of intimacy and violence. We see how modern murders unfold, through digital trails, through the accommodation of victims, via strategies that were once reserved for fiction. For investigators, this case will linger. For the victims' families, the trauma will forever be ongoing. And for the rest of us, there's a lesson that can be taken. The lesson is that even the most ordinary settings, a home, a guest, a city landmark, everyone, anywhere, can become the stage for unimaginable violence. As DCI Stride said, you can see the footage, but what sticks with you is that they welcomed him into their own home, trusted him, and he turned their trust into their own demise. A suitcase left on a bridge became the key that unlocked a crime beyond imagining. 2 men killed, their trust betrayed, their bodies dismembered. This is Crimeline Reports, bringing you the facts behind the crimes. Stay alert, stay aware.